Okay, very good morning, students. In our last session, we have started with the factors, right? The fact, what are the factors we need to consider in selecting the transportation network? The factors were categorized with the supplier and also the carrier. Okay. Then we have come across with the design. What is the need of design option in transportation network, and why we need to choose the correct transportation network? What are the benefits on it, and the different type of networks we have covered, right? So in design option we need to get the answer for some questions. What kind of transportation we need to choose? Okay. And what are the available transportation options, and in which basis, on what basis we need to select the correct transportation network? All those things are need to be analyzed. By analyzing all these things, we had these five different types of network. Okay, direct shipping network, direct shipping with milk run, all shipment via central DC, then shipping via DC, that is a distribution center using milk run, and finally it is the tailored network. And yesterday we started this topic, right? Direct shipping network. Yeah, direct shipping network is one where the goods will be shipped directly from the supplier to the buyer. Okay, all the goods will be shipped directly from the supplier to buyer. So it is considered as the one-to-one contact. Okay, it is considered as the one-to-one contact. So if you are considering about the advantage of this thing is, the pattern is easy because there is the involvement of one supplier and one buyer. Okay, so it will be very easy to plan. And second thing, the other distribution line will not be disturbed due to the decision taken by this concerned line. Okay. And okay, and the one more advantage is the intermediate warehouse is being eliminated here. Okay, there is no need of any storage or intermediate warehouse requirement. Okay. It is the advantage, but it may have some disadvantage. Whereas if sorry, if this buyer he needs a less amount, definitely the receiving cost will be more, because the supplier he will supply a part only to this corresponding buyer. Okay. So whatever the cost incurred here, the total cost incurred for a single trip, all the cost will be paid only by the single buyer. Okay. That's the major disadvantage of using this type of network. Then as second type, we have come across with the direct shipping with milk run. Okay. So a direct shipping with milk run, we have two options here. Okay. So here is the first optional networks, and here it is the second option network. A first optional network is one where we are using a single supplier and multi-buyer. Okay, so here we have a supplier, single supplier. Okay, single supplier, but consider here we have three buyers: buyer one, buyer two, and buyer three. Okay, and here we can consider the three suppliers, right? Three supplier for a single buyer. Okay, so these two kind of transportation network are called as direct shipping with milk run. Yeah, goods will be shipped from the supplier, and the goods will be distributed to different buyers. Okay, in a single cycle. So in a single cycle, since we are covering more number of buyers, the transportation facility will be utilized completely. Okay, the capacity of truck or the capacity of any transport mode will be utilized completely, since we are covering different buyers, which means different customers. Okay, many customers, right? So that we can easily judge this method for the full truckload. We can justify it easily. And what could be the disadvantage? What the advantages of this one? Okay, since we are supplying the goods for many buyers, or since we are collecting the goods from different many suppliers, okay, the overall transportation charge will be reduced. right? The overall transportation charges reduced. That is considered as the major advantage. Okay, it lowers the transportation cost since there is the consolidation of products or there is the combination of buyers. Okay, and as I told, the truck will be utilized properly. Okay, these are the advantages for this case. Up to this, we have covered in our previous session, and we can move to the next one. Yeah, all shipment via central DC. Yeah, DC is nothing but a distribution center. Okay, DC is a distribution center here. I mentioned it. Yeah, DC is distribution center, right? So by the name, we can identify the shipment via central DC. We are fixing one distribution center. Yeah, distribution center is nothing but a small type of storage. It's type of storage. Okay. Now, what is the advantage here? There is no direct contact between the supplier and buyer. Okay. So the supplier do not send the shipment directly to buyer. There is no direct dealing between the supplier and buyer. All the goods will be collected in the DC, that is distribution center. Then from the distribution center, the goods will be distributed to supplier. It's a model. Okay. So all the goods will be shipped from the supplier location to the distribution center. A distribution center is a common one which will be used for different suppliers and also different buyers. Okay. Then from the distribution center, it will be distributed to the different type of buyers. Okay. So here this distribution center is called as a warehouse storage, right? The buyer divides locations by geographic region and DC is built for each region. It depends upon the category. It depends upon the category of buyer or depends upon the category of supplier. We can plan the location of DC, right? We can plan that distribution center location. For example, in Chennai, in Coimbatore market was only distribution center for vegetables, but due to this pandemic, due to the corona in this pandemic period, what we are planning for three different locations. Okay, for market. So all the locations where we are planning, all the suppliers will be coming there. It will be stored on the particular warehouse or particular storage section, and it will be distributed to the buyers. Okay, that's a case here. The suppliers send their shipment to the DC. The suppliers send their shipment to DC, and the DC will be distributing the product to the corresponding buyer. Okay, so we will be considering additional location, an additional layer in between the supplier and the buyer. That additional layer is called as the distribution center. While considering this kind of distribution, we have two different mode. One is storage location. Storage location is one where the distribution center is considered as a warehouse, right? And second is a transfer location. A transfer location is one, there is no separate place to hold the goods, which means to store the goods. Yeah, all the goods will be collected from the suppliers and immediately it will be distributed to the buyers without storing it in the DC center. Okay. So consider the first case, all shipment via intermediate distribution center with storage. Okay, with the facility of storage. Right? So considering the storage location, a storage location is nothing but a warehouse or it's a distribution center where many number of goods can be stored. Okay, so suppliers send their shipment to the central DC. All the goods will be stored in the DC itself until needed by a buyers. Okay, once the buyer need the corresponding good, then it will be shipped to the respective buyer. Okay, it is the network with storage. So what could be the importance of this kind of network? The presence of DC can help to reduce supply chain cost. Okay, to reduce the supply chain cost, because we just to consider there is a more distance between the supplier and the buyer. Okay. So supplier, for each and every buyer he cannot move. If you are considering this supplier, for the buyer, all the buyers, he cannot move here and there. Okay, so the transportation cost will be more. If he want to come from for buyer one, then he want to cover buyer two, then he need to cover buyer four. Okay, if he want to cover more buyers, definitely the cost incurred on transportation will be increasing. So by using the DC distribution center as a common point for all supplier and all buyers, definitely the cost incurred in supply chain will be reduced. Okay, there's a major importance, major advantage with respect to this kind of transportation network. Then second, the presence of DC allow the supply chain to achieve EOS, end of shipping, for inbound transportation. Inbound transportation, which is here, this is the inbound region between the supplier to DC. This is inbound region, and between the DC to the buyer, it is the outbound region. Okay, we will be mentioning inbound or outbound. The region here is inbound. Okay, just a minute. This region is inbound. Okay, and here the region is outbound. So it is favor for both the inbound and outbound region. Okay, and then consider when we can use this type of network. We have a storage place here, right? We have a storage place here, so that we can accept more number of goods. Okay, so when the goods available in inbound region is more, at that time we can prefer this. Okay, we can collect all the goods and we can store them, we can distribute them when the buyer required it. Okay, and coming to the next one, the DC hold inventory and send product to buyer location in smaller replacement. There is another same. Okay, all the goods are being collected in the DC and it is distributed to the buyer location. So coming to the second case here, by using a distribution center, the only change is here we will not be using any distribution center. There is no distribution center in between the supplier and buyer. Okay, all the goods will be collected here, then it will be distributed to the corresponding buyer. Okay, can anyone imagine about this kind of transportation network? Can you imagine? நம்ம நம்ம ஊர் பக்கம் வந்து இந்த வார சந்தை அப்படின்லாம் சொல்றாங்கல்ல, வீக்லி ஒன்ஸ் தே வில் பி அரேஞ்சிங். அந்த வார சந்தை, மாட்டு சந்தை, ஆட்டு சந்தை எல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க பாத்தீங்களா? வி ஹேவ் அ லொகேஷன். ஓகே, பட் தட் லொகேஷன் வில் நாட் பி ஹேவிங் any storing capacity. All the goods will be collected there and it will be distributed. So this location is used only for making the cross docking. A cross docking is one which is a process used to distribute the goods for different buyers. Okay, it's a inline, right? So supplier send their shipment to intermediate transit point, then all the goods are cross-docked and sent to the buyer location. The only change between these two, the previous one, shipment via intermediate DC with storage, and here shipment via intermediate transit point with the cross-dock. The only thing is, in first case, we are maintaining a storage room, we are maintaining a warehouse. In second stage, we are not having any storage room. All the goods are collected here and immediately they are cross-docked to the different buyer location. So for this case, the DC can cross-dock product arriving from supplier on inbound track. All the goods are collected in inbound track and they are breaking. They are breaking them into a small shipments, and all those things are distributed to the buyers. So in this case, there is no storage in between the supplier and buyer. So what are the total amount given by the supplier will be distributed to the buyer. Okay, the total shipment from the supplier is equal to the sum of goods distributed to the buyers. That both are the same here. Okay. When DC cross-dock products, each inbound truck contains product from a supplier for several buyer locations. Okay. So each inbound, which means here this is the first inbound, second, third. So from each supplier, we are getting the inputs, we are getting the goods. Okay, that is called as the inbound from different supplier from each supplier, and all the goods will be given to different buyers. Whereas each outbound track contains product for a buyer location from several suppliers. Okay, you understand the meaning? Here the inbound will be having the goods required for all the buyers. Okay. And if you are considering one outbound, I am considering this as one outbound. Okay. The one outbound, it may have the goods supplied by many inbound. Okay. Here it will be having the goods supplied by different suppliers. That is many inbound. What are the benefit of using this? Little inventory has to be held and product flow faster in supply chain. So since we are not maintaining any additional storage here, and simply we are shipping all the parts. Okay, so the product flow will be fast in this case. Then second, it saves on handling cost. So saves on handling cost. How it is possible mean? If you want to keep the products in a warehouse in the intermediate storage, definitely we need to spend some money for material handling. Okay, from the supplier. And so if it is a storage or distribution center, all the goods will be coming here. Then it need to be handled. All the goods has to be handled to store in the distribution center. Then again, once we start the distribution, again it need to be handled. Okay, which means shifting, shifting from truck to storage room, then from storage room to again truck. That is called as the material handling charge. So since we are not having any storage rooms here, the handling charge will be low for this case. And the major issue is the system is somewhat complex. Okay? The system is somewhat complex means we need to plan accordingly. We may receive more goods from different suppliers. All the goods need to be cross-docked or diverted to different buyers. Okay, definitely that system is complex one. We need to concentrate more. We need to plan more for making this type of transportation network as successful one. Okay. So the cross-deck requires significant degree of coordination. So what is mean of the degree of coordination? The coordination may be between the people related to supplier and also the buyer. Okay, because all the goods are being arrived to the corresponding transfer location, then the goods are being distributed to the buyer, and there must be a time cooperation between these two people, between the inbound and outbound location. Okay, in inbound and outbound location, definitely there must be a correlation between them, correlation between them related to the transportation facility, whether the transportation facility available in time or not, because then only all the goods will be distributed easily without having any storage on warehouse. Okay, so that is the major issue on using this kind of transportation. Okay, so the products with large predictable demand and requires that DC will set up such that EOS is the end of shipping. End of shipping means once the truck starts from one location and it will be distributed to the other location. That is called as one shipment. Okay. So the end of shipment is break here from supplier to the warehouse, then from warehouse to the buyer. Okay. So that can be actually easily in both the cases. In both the cases, inbound and outbound locations. So these are the valid points regarding this type of network, and regarding the point advantage we have discussed a lot. Okay. So for advantage means there is no separate storage room, so obviously the cost will be reducing, And if you are able to run successfully this kind of transportation network, the the overall efficiency of supply chain will be more. Okay, that's a advantage of this type of network. And coming to the next one, shipping via DC using milk run. Okay, so here we have the distribution center, right? Here we have the distribution center, but in outbound region, here in outbound region, we are following the milk run. Okay, and so here we have the distribution center. Then from each distribution center, sorry, from the distribution center, each and every buyers are dealt separately. Okay, the goods are transported to each and every buyer in separate line. But in this case, we have the distribution center up to in the inbound region, and distribution center is common. Okay, but after that, the distribution of products or goods to the buyer in milk run, which means two or three buyers will be covered in a single trip. So here they are starting, they are covering the first buyer, second, and third. Three buyers are being covered in a single trip. Okay, so this type of networking is called as a shipping via DC distribution center using milk run. So that what is the favorable points here? What are the favorable points? The transportation charge is completely reduced in outbound region. Okay. Instead of covering each and every buyer separately, we are covering two or three buyers continuously. Since we are covering two or three buyers in a single trip, the overall transportation cost will be reduced. Okay. And one more thing, all the suppliers are supplying or shipping their product to the DC. Okay, so in inbound region, the risk on supplier is being reduced because there is no requirement of direct contact between the supplier and buyer. Simply they are giving all the goods to the corresponding distribution center. Okay, then all the parts are being handled by the distribution center people. Okay, and they are covering different buyer. Consider buyer one. Buyer one, he may require a product from the supplier S1 and S4. He needed two different products. Okay, from supplier S1 and supplier S4. Consider the second thing. He needs the goods from supplier S4 and S6. Okay, so the requirement of buyer is different. Okay, so for each and every supplier, if they are contacting the particular buyer, overall supply chain cost, overall transportation cost will be increasing. So to reduce it, we are following this kind of network. Okay, we will be having the distribution center. Then after in the distribution center, we are going to follow a milk run procedure. A milk run procedure means to cover many buyers. Okay, that is the milk run procedure. And the next type of transportation is a tailored network. Okay. A tailored network is a combination of different network methods. A combination of what? A combination of cross docking, milk run, a truckload, less than truckload, carriers, and package carriers. All those things we will be collectively using all the facilities. Okay, so since we are using all the facilities at particular moment at particular location, we will be following different type of transportation. So the ultimate aim of this tailored network is to reduce the cost. Okay, to reduce the cost and to improve the responsiveness or to increase the efficiency of supply chain. Okay, so ultimately in all the tasks, I am telling in each and every class, in all the tasks, ultimate aim is to reduce the cost. Okay, so to reduce the cost, what kind of network we can follow, whether we can follow a single type of network or a multiple, that is a combination of networks is suggestible or not, all those things will be considered. And high demand products to high demand retail outlet may be shipped directly. And low demand products are shipment to low demand retail outlets are considered and from the DC. What it means, if there is a product what are having high demand. High demand means there is the immediate requirement for such product. At that time, there is no need of any storage in between the supplier and buyer. Okay, directly all the products can be shipped to the buyer. There is no need of any distribution center in between as a middle layer. But the demand is low. A low demand product. The products will not be demanded by the buyer frequently. Okay. Then we can choose the distribution center. All the products will be collected from the suppliers and it will be stored in the distribution center. Once the buyer give his request, then it will be distributed to the buyers. Okay. So for high demand, we need direct shipment. For low demand, we need the shipment with a distribution center. Okay, but supplier he may have different type of products. He may have the high demand. He may have the low demand. Both he will be having. Okay, as the case buyer also he may require a low demand product. He may require a high demand product. So to fulfill all the requirement, we will be using this type of network, a tailored network. The complexity of managing is high. The complexity of managing, that is the maintaining or running the system is somewhat risky. Okay, because we are going to follow the different shipping procedure and we are going to deal with different type of products. Okay, different type of buyers and different type of suppliers, and all the things are being dealt here. Hence the entire system is complex to develop and run, and it requires a significant investment in information infrastructure. Okay. The infrastructure is need to be developed to fulfill all our requirements. That will be covering more cost. The cost incurred for the infrastructure, that is the fixed cost will be more for initial setup. Okay. And it's a comparison statements for different type of network. Okay, what we have covered: direct shipping with milk run, all shipment via central DC with storage, all shipment via central DC with cross dock, then shipping via DC using milk run, then Taylor network. Okay, and these are the pros and cons, the added advantages and the drawbacks of the corresponding respective network. Okay, so see the first thing, direct shipping. In direct shipping, there is no need of warehouse. Okay, there is no need of warehouse, and the direct shipping is easy to coordinate or easy to run because there is only involvement of a single supplier and a single buyer. Okay, so that the planning will be easy. The system may run without any disturbance or without any error. Okay, that's the advantage for in point of view of direct shipping. But on the other hand, the high inventories due to large lot size. Okay, definitely it needs the high inventories. Why we are calling this as high inventories as, just consider we are dealing one supplier and one buyer. A buyer he require around 5 Newton 5 Newton of raw material. Okay, just imagine he need 5 Newton raw material. The supplier is supplying, he is able to supply 8 Newton in a single trip. Okay, he have that kind of trucks. So what we will do, we will be ordering the 8 ton of good and we will be utilizing the 5 tons currently, and we will be storing the remaining 3 tons for future work. Okay, that is the maintenance of inventory. If you are considering a single supplier and a single buyer, we may face this kind of issues. Then the significant receiving expenses. As I told earlier, the receiving cost is more for direct shipping because the direct shipping is applicable for a single buyer. So we are considering a single trip, the cost incurred for the single trip, it will be paid only by a single buyer. Okay, so the receiving cost will be more. And what are the advantages and disadvantages we have discussed in our previous times? All are listed here. Just go through the points. Go through yourself. For direct shipping, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Go through it for 2 minutes. Yes, if you have any doubts or any point to discuss, post in chat or unmute yourself. Okay. Let's go through with this. The direct shipping with the milk run. So since there is the implementation of milk run, we are covering many buyers or many suppliers in a single trip. So definitely the cost will be low. So you need to write the points with respect to the flowchart. Okay, you know the sorry, not flowchart, diagram. Okay, you know the systematic diagram. So based on the diagram, you can write the advantages and disadvantages for all type of networks. So you have an assignment, guys. என்னன்னா அடுத்த கிளாஸ் வரும்போது இந்த நெட்வொர்க் டைப்ஸ் எல்லாம் சொல்லியிருக்கேன் பார்த்தீங்களா? இந்த நெட்வொர்க் டைப்ஸ் எல்லாத்துக்குமே வந்து எக்ஸாம்பிள், எனி எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஐ எம் நாட் மென்ஷனிங் அபவுட் தி எலக்ட்ரானிக்ஸ் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி தான் இருக்கணும், இண்டஸ்ட்ரி ஃபீல்டு மட்டும் தான் இருக்கணும், அந்த மாதிரிலாம் சொல்லலாம். எனி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் எக்ஸாம்பிள் யூ ஃபீல், ஓகே, எதெல்லாம் நீங்க வந்து எக்ஸாம்பிளா உங்களுக்கு தோணுதோ அதை ஃபுல்லா லிஸ்ட் அவுட் பண்ணிட்டு வாங்க. ஐ வில் பி ஆஸ்கிங், ஐ வில் பி பிகிங் சம் பீப்புள் டு எக்ஸ்பிளைன். ஓகே, இதுதான் நான் ஆக்சுவலா நீங்க கிளாஸ்லயே இதை டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருந்தது தான். ரைட். ஃபார் டைரக்ட் ஷிப்பிங், கரெக்ட் ஃபியூ எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ். திஸ் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் தி டைரக்ட் ஷிப்பிங். தென் டைரக்ட் ஷிப்பிங் வித் மில்க் ரன், develop some example for it. Okay, so direct shipping with milk run, just to consider each and every example. You can consider the supermarket, you can consider the Zomato, you can consider the taxi, Ola taxi service. You can consider what are the different network, Amazon. You can consider the services provided by the courier services. Okay, professional courier, or you can consider the service given by the logistic companies. You can consider any kind of manufacturing, you can consider any kind of goods, whether it is an automobile or medical goods or whatever it is. You can consider any kind of goods or any kind of transportation mode, whatever it is, but collect the examples. For direct shipping with the milk run, for this case, இது கூட நான் சொல்லியிருந்தேன் பார்த்தீங்களா, ஆல் ஷிப்மெண்ட் வயா சென்ட்ரல் டிசி வித் கிராஸ் டாக். இட்ஸ் பெஸ்ட் திங். அந்த நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி வார சந்தையில நடக்கிறதெல்லாம் வந்து இந்த டைப் ஆஃப் சப்ளை செயின் தான் நம்ம எடுத்துக்கணும். ஓகே, அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங், இப்போ இந்த பக்கம் நீங்க அதிகமா ஃபீல் பண்ணிக்க மாட்டீங்க. இஃப் யூ ஆர் கமிங் ஃப்ரம் சவுத் மதுரை அந்த ரீஜன் வந்து கமிஷன் மண்டின்னு வச்சிருப்பாங்க. கமிஷன் மண்டி, கலெக்டிவலி வில்லேஜ்ல இருந்து கொண்டு வர மிளகா, பஞ்சு, அப்புறம் இந்த நெல், இது எல்லாமே அங்க வந்து அங்க இருந்து இமீடியட்டா டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கும். இது எல்லாமே நைட் ஒர்க்லயே நடக்கும். 9 o'clock எல்லாம் ரிசீவ் ஆகும். 2 or 3 o'clock வந்து அகைன் எவ்ரி திங் வில் பி டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட்டட். ஸோ தட்ஸ் அ பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் நீங்க சர்ச் பண்ணுங்க, யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, தப்பா இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல. பட் தி என்டையர் activities in our practical life are balanced only by the supply chain. கரெக்ட் தானே? எல்லாமே வந்து அந்த பேஸ்ல தான் போயிட்டு இருக்குது. ஸோ வி ஹாவ் மோர் எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் சரௌண்டிங் அஸ். அதனால அதுல இருக்கிற எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் பாருங்க அண்ட் take this as an assignment task. ஸோ அடுத்த கிளாஸ் வரும்போது கண்டிப்பா ஒரு 10 பேர்கிட்டையாவது மினிமம் 10 பேர்கிட்டையாவது நான் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிருந்தேன். ஜஸ்ட் யூ நீட் டு கிவ் அன் எக்ஸாம்பிள் அண்ட் ஜஸ்டிஃபை திஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் நெட்வொர்க். தென் செகண்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் திஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் நெட்வொர்க் ஏன் எப்படி அப்படிங்கறத நீங்க வந்து சஜஷன்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும். ஓகேவாப்பா, பண்ணிடலாமா? Okay, then just try. Okay, whatever to what extent you can just try. இருக்கிற டிரான்ஸ்போர்டேஷன்ஸ் மெத்தட், இருக்கிற சப்ளை செயின் கம்பெனிஸ் என்னென்ன இருக்கு, ஜஸ்ட் கோ சர்ச் லாஜிஸ்டிக் கம்பெனிஸ் என்ன இருக்கு எல்லாமே பாருங்க. பார்த்துட்டு அதுல இருந்து நீங்க எக்ஸாம்பிள் பிக் பண்ண பாருங்க. தென் ஒன்ஸ் யூ பிக் தி எக்ஸாம்பிள் தென் யூ கேன் ஸ்டார்ட் டு ஐடென்டிஃபை என்ன நெட்வொர்க்ல வருது அப்படிங்கறத உங்களால ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண முடியும். Okay, do you have any other points to share or chat? If not, you can leave. Attendance பார்த்துட்டீங்களா? In A section, Abhinesh, Amritavarshini, Dinesh Kumar, and in B section, Priyanka, and C section, Vinodhagan.
So இன்னும் 2-3 பேர் இருக்காங்க சார், பட் அவங்களுக்கு ஆப்ஷன் தான் போட போறோம். இந்த குரு பிரசாந்த் என் only 2 minutes for the class, and Vibilnisri joined at 12:05 only. So they are also absent for this class.
Okay. இப்போ ஃபுல்லா க்ளோஸ் பண்ணியாச்சுல சார் அட்டெண்டன்ஸ்?
Yes sir, yes.
சரி, ஓகே, அப்போ போஸ்ட் இல்லம்மா?
Yes sir.
Okay guys, if you are not having any doubts you can leave. Come with the task in next class.